Hello and welcome back to NoBS. Today we return to talking about the United States presidential election and specifically whether or not we're going to have debates this year. That seems to be a big question in a lot of people's minds. Firstly, because many conservatives have predicted that the Democrats will try to back away from the debates, despite Biden and Trump agreeing to 3 debates as is tradition in this presidential election cycle here in America. But many people are thinking Biden's going to have to back out for a number of reasons. I mean, we all know he's old and frail and can't hold up to Trump at all. And in addition, he knows that his best bet is to just lay back and hide and stay in hiding, not answering questions, not taking information from the public, just pre-recording little videos and running his campaign from his basement. That's the way the Biden campaign's been working for a while now. They haven't done press conferences. He's not taking questions from reporters. Even their convention was done mostly on the internet streaming with Skype or Zoom calls or pre-recorded videos. Like, the Democratic convention was a big mess. Many even suspected Biden's final acceptance speech was recorded too. And now we're moving forward. Both the conventions are done. Debates are coming up soon. And we have a certain prominent Democrat who's suggesting that the debate should just not even happen. This is like a top Democrat too. As you can see by this tweet, Speaker Nancy Pelosi says that she does not think there should be any presidential debates between President Trump and Joe Biden. I wouldn't legitimize conversation with him. Now, that is a bold claim, and this is a top Democrat too. The Speaker of the House is the leader of the House of Representatives and on the Democrat side. Basically, the way it works in America, a little background, whichever party has the most members in the House, they elect a Speaker of the House who represents them and kind of leads the House. And Pelosi's been in charge of that for a while, and that makes her a very prominent Democrat. She's actually third in line to the presidency. After the vice president might take over for the president, next would be the Speaker of the House. So it's a very prominent position. She's a very long-time Democrat too. Obviously, she's older than most people in this world. I mean, she's like 100 years old. She's been in politics for like 50 of them. So for her to say this is rather striking, rather interesting. And I think it comes off very different than she attends. Like, she thinks it's cool. Like, oh, no, we wouldn't even talk to Trump. He's not even worth our time. Like, he's just a racist or something. But the way I see it is they're scared. They're like really afraid. They know Trump is a good speaker. They know he debated well against Hillary last election, against other people in the primaries. Like, they are afraid that Biden will fall apart because he's just too old. He's senile. He's not really well-spoken anymore. He forgets things a lot. Biden is not competent enough to face off with Trump, so they're coming up with excuses to get out of it. And this has been happening for a while. They've been laying groundwork for this for a long time, and this is kind of like a new development that I find pretty interesting. So that's why I wanted to check out this video. I want you guys to check it out with me. We'll go over it some more as we listen. Check this out.
Since you asked about that, especially don't tell Joe Biden, I don't think that there should be any debates. I do not think that the President of the United States has comported himself in a way that anybody should, and that has any association with truth, evidence, data, and facts.
What the hell is she talking about? Like, truth, evidence? This is like their slogan. I saw a sign for Biden that said that. It's like truth over lies or something like that. Facts over lies was their slogan. And it just shows how terrible their campaign is. Like, the Democratic campaign, it has no vigor, it has no energy, no hope. It's not pro-America or positive anything. They just say, oh, Trump's a liar. They're basically an anti-Trump campaign, which is why people are turning away from that. The real good campaign this year is the Republicans. They're about making America great. They're about improving this country, moving forward, doing great things in the future. And that's what people really want to see when they're going to vote. They don't want to see negativity, and they don't want to see people just bashing everyone and making stuff up too. Like, they don't have good attacks on Trump. They just say he's a liar for no reason and with no support, like Pelosi here. And the other thing she's doing is really, really kind of controversial to the American political system. I mean, these debates have happened throughout our world history. We've been a country for over 200 years, and as far as I know, almost every presidential election has had debates. That's a big part of the process. It's a way to see the two candidates together on stage, see them interacting with us questions with the audience, with each other. I mean, this is how you judge the candidates in a real way. And that's why the Democrats are so afraid of it, is because they know it's going to expose two things. They're going to show that Trump is good. He's a well-spoken, great plans, great American. And it's going to show Biden is bad. Biden is frail. He's falling apart and he can't handle it. And that's why the real reason why they can't do the debates. They're trying to shake up our whole political system. And this isn't the first time they've done that either. We've seen them try to do this in a number of ways. Not only are they trying to stop the debates, they're trying to change the way we vote. They want to have it mail-in voting now, which is another big change to our election cycle. They want to remove the Electoral College, which is basically them changing the way they count votes and the way we elect the president from the ground up. I mean, they will not stop at anything to try and cheat their way out of this. They want to change the whole system, which is just super radical, super, super extreme. And I hope we could stress that enough, because they try to act like it's casual. They're like, oh, let's just vote by mail. Let's not have debates and we'll get rid of Electoral College. I mean, those three things are like fundamentally changing the entire election system. Each one of them, even if you just change one, everything will change. The campaigns will change. Our whole country could change from the ground up. So let's just keep in mind how radical those thoughts are.
I wouldn't legitimize a conversation with him, nor a debate in terms of the presidency of the United States. Now, I know that the Biden campaign thinks in a different way about this, but I thought what he did in the 2016 was disgraceful, stalking Hillary Clinton like that. I was disappointed that the press didn't say, go back to your station.
Okay, so she's referencing the 2016 debates, which seemed very fresh in her mind. I mean, I can recognize what she's talking about. Trump paced a little bit and had a good performance. He kind of like stood behind her or something, whichever. But this goes to show how scared she is of Trump. She remembers specifically what he did 4 years ago, and she doesn't want it to happen to Biden, because a lot of the reason Trump won was because he debated Hillary well. Hillary is actually not the worst debater either. She has far more talent than Biden. She's way more, capable and not frail and like whatever. I mean, she's kind of old and falling apart too, but she could at least speak and keep it together, especially back in 2016. So the fact of the matter is, this is Pelosi recognizing the fact that Trump's debates helped him win in 2016. So she's trying to take that away from him in 2020.
You're not here. You're not on this stage. You have your own podium. She has hers. So I think that he'll probably act in a way that is beneath the dignity of the presidency. He does that every day. But I think he will also belittle what the debates are supposed to be about. And they're not to be about the skullduggery on the part of somebody who has no respect for the office he holds, much less the democratic process. Why else would he try to undermine the elections in the manner in which he is doing?
What a ridiculous comment. I mean, she just said what I accused her of. I mean, I basically proved all those things are undermining the election, the voting by mail, the Electoral College, the canceling of debates. She's the one trying to undermine this thing. She's the one trying to change the rules and remove all these institutions from our country. And she acts like Trump is disrespectful to the office. Come on. She's disrespectful to politicians and Democrats everywhere. I mean, this is a lady who's been in charge of San Francisco area for many, many years. She's been representing them. She was part of their politics for a long time. And everything in San Francisco has gotten worse. That city is completely trashed. It's filled with bums and poop in the streets and drug addicts and high rent prices and all kinds of bad stuff. San Francisco is formerly a great city too. It's a beautiful area. California can be very, very nice as far as the beauty of the ocean and the mountains and stuff like that. But as far as the Democrats running the place, they're tearing it apart. And she wants to act like Trump is disrespectful to the office. Come on, lady, look in a mirror.
So if Joe Biden asked you what I thought about it, I don't think that he should dignify that conversation with Donald Trump. You could have you ask them any questions, both of them. Just take their own stage for any number of conversations about any subject. Hold them accountable. What are they proposing? What is their vision? What is their knowledge? How are we going to get it done? How do they connect with the American people?
So she's trying to suggest an alternative, like they each have separate press conferences to address questions from the public. But that's just besides the point of a debate. The debate is all about putting them together head to head and letting the country see them compete. And that way you could decide in that moment. I mean, there's multiple debates. You can decide over time too, but that's the whole point. And this is besides the point. And the funny part about this suggestion is, well, first of all, Trump has been doing press conferences all the time. He speaks to the public almost every week, especially in the height of the pandemic. He was having questions every day. And Biden hasn't. He won't even do a press conference. So Pelosi suggesting he do something that he won't do. He refuses to do. Maybe he'll get a planned one for this kind of fake situation she's suggesting, but that'll just turn into him getting a bunch of plants in the audience, giving questions, pre-planned answers. It'll just be all staged and pre-recorded and fake. And that's kind of what Pelosi hopes for. I'm sure the Democrats don't want to see their candidate go against Trump because it'll make them lose again. That's what happened with Hillary. That's what surely will happen with Biden. I mean, Biden is half the candidate that Hillary was. He has half the name recognition. He's obviously less competent, less prepared, and he's just going to ruin it. So with that said, that about wraps things up. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Comment your thoughts on everything below. Do you think there will be debates? Do you think it'll go well for Biden if they have them? If they don't have them, will that help the Democrats, or could it turn and go against them like many of their other plans have? Comment your thoughts on that below. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the like and bell for notifications. Until next time, have a great day.